What's going on, Internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdlocker podcast. My name is Brandon,
And I'm Jimmy.
and it's a new year, new us, new podcasts, 2019. How you like it so far?
Well, let me tell you, I've never seen this movie, Zardoz, but do you
The one
remember
with fucking Sean Connery?
exactly?
Yeah,
I
we
had
all have to
seen.
start dressing like that.
Well, that's what they keep saying, and I looked it up because I thought that was wrong. It's like 2238 is the date for that movie. So
Yeah, I
people,
saw that and I was like, I don't think that's 2019. I thought Blade Runner's 2019.
yes, that is accurate. So I just want to get that out there to everybody who's listening, all five of you. Please don't fall for that. Don't forward it. That's not accurate.
I mean, if you want to dress like that, live your best life. We're not here to judge,
Take
but
pictures and send them to us.
yeah, no, like post that on our page or we'll retweet it on all that stuff. But um, you still have like 1,000 years before you have to start dressing
Yeah,
um
got some time.
that sexy with the ponytail and the. I can't say I've ever seen the movie, but I know the picture.
Yeah, that's just it. I've never seen it, but I definitely know the picture.
Well, uh, sorry for our voices if we sound a little off, but we're both having little cold problems, I guess. So let us be if you have a cold, let us be the nectar to your ears and make you feel better. We're gonna recap some of our favorite stuff in 2018. Go over some big things that happened, and if there's time, we're gonna talk to you about what we're looking forward to in the next year. Um, You know what? Before we even get into that, I got to say something. The last podcast we did, we forgot to talk about something.
What was that?
We did not mention Stan Lee at all.
Yeah, that's well. This is a good time to do that because that definitely was a thing that happened in 2018. That was
Yes.
it's hard to say devastating because he lived a long, full life, but it was definitely a hard one.
It was something you knew was, coming as he was an older man, and that is what happens, but it still didn't make it any more enjoyable. It was super bummy that day. I remember being at work and just being like, well, I really don't want to do anything today.
And it's one of those hard ones. I had this similar experience with Carrie Fisher. It's one of those hard ones where not everybody understands how important that person is, and a lot of people just like who or even
Oh, the
okay,
comic guy or the cameo guy. Oh, that
yeah,
sucks. I'm sorry. And it's like, nah, man, like he's responsible for like most of the things you like.
and he also was very much into social justice. I mean, look at a lot of the comic books he created, like the X-Men. Not
Yeah.
only was he saying these things in the back of his magazines as far as social justice, but most of his stories were about, hey guys, we need equality. Stop picking on people. Stop
Yeah.
making laws against people.
I mean, that's what X-Men was about. It was a group of people who were, you know, targeted because they're different, and it's like how your differences can make you, you know, better, and how your differences can make you, a good thing, not a bad thing.
Exactly.
And yeah, that was a shitty part of 2018. Have you seen Spider Verse yet?
I have not.
Okay, Spider Verse and then the Spider Man video game are the two cameos I saw after his death, and that just kind of I was like, oh god damn it! Like you almost forget about it for a second, and then you're like, shit, like. And I assume there's gonna be one in Captain Marvel. I assume there's gonna be one in Endgame. And I want to say his last one's going to be the next Spider-Man movie, but I'm not sure.
I had read that I think it was James Gunn had filmed a whole bunch of green screen stuff for him
Okay.
to insert into places.
Bet they'll
So I don't
use
know.
that from James Gunn, but they
I
won't
know
fucking give him his job back, you stupid dicks.
that happened last year.
That was
And
part of 2018. That was a very annoying and shitty part of
yeah,
2018.
yeah. The only positive that could come out of that is he might be able to save DC.
I don't know, man. Did you see Aquaman?
Nope.
that is definitely not on my top movies of 2018. That movie was an utter waste of time. So yeah, that one didn't make the list. Um, what did you have a favorite superhero movie this year?
You know what? It's hard because I will always defer to Deadpool. I love Deadpool. Deadpool is amazeballs because I love him as a comic book character, and the first movie was so awesome. That being said, I think Black Panther was just amazing. And I hate to say it this way, but I really think it was groundbreaking. I am not a black man. I'm a white dude. So I can't.
Spoiler alert, everyone. I
Yeah,
know what
I
you
know.
thought this whole
Crazy.
time. That
But
velvety voice was coming out of a black man, but it is just
exactly.
another white guy.
Just me. But it just seemed like from talking to our friends, specifically Patrick, how like changing it was for him to take him and his son to see this movie and to see basically themselves on screen. And this is something I think as a white guy I take for granted. Like most of them look like me. Cool.
Oh, 100%. That's something that like okay, it just is what it is. And I mean, you had that with Spider-Verse too. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, like Miles Morales is Spider-Man in that
That's awesome.
movie. I mean, you have a bunch of Spider-Man in that movie, but the whole message of the movie is like anyone can be Spider-Man.
And that's
Any
what's cool because I've read Miles Morales in the comic books.
yeah.
I've read Black Lightning. I never really read Black Panther, but you've read these things, but then you don't see them in a mass way on the screen. And then not it wasn't just that because I mean there have been black superhero movies, but to be so popular across basically the world, and then again, as a white guy, seeing African culture and history and the colors and the music, it was so gorgeous, beautiful. The story was great. The acting was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. And as much as I love Deadpool, I really have to put Black Panther as probably my favorite superhero movie last year.
I loved Black Panther, and it's weird because when I was like looking at my list of stuff, I'm like, oh shit, that was like beginning of the year. It seems
Yeah.
so far away. 2018 did feel like the longest year ever too. There was
Yes, it
something
did.
about it like lasting way longer than a normal year does. And that's probably, a lot to do with the political climate. But I was like, oh shit, that was the beginning of this year. Um I really loved it. But I just have to say, like, not taking nothing away from Black Panther because that movie was fucking great. Michael B. Jordan was amazing. Everybody was just great in that movie. But Infinity War was definitely my favorite because that was like sitting in that theater, just being like, "Holy shit! Like this is happening. Like this is happening. Like the Guardians are meeting up with the Avengers, and like it was all just, it was perfect. I loved it.
The ambition of that movie is unreal in that they got all those people. And it's not that you got to look at it apart from just these guys are, superheroes in a movie. These are like huge Hollywood action stars,
Oh, at this point, yeah. I mean,
and you're getting
Marvel
them
turned
into
them into that.
one movie. The only reason why I didn't put that on top is to me, it's a two-parter, and if the second part sucks, which I don't think it will, but if the second part sucks, I think it takes away from that one.
That's fair. But
But yeah, it
I
was
will say I like how they ended it where it's like if you just want that bad ending, guess what? All you have to do is watch part one and this is how everything ends.
I know a couple people that like in regards to Star Wars, they are real fans of the Emperor, and I can't fathom what the hell is wrong with them. So I can see that where they're like, "Oh no, I love the first Infinity War because yeah, because Thanos won." It's like what? How
And you're
can you
like,
write that? That's devastating. When Peter Parker is sitting there looking at Tony Stark and he's fading away, and you're like, "Oh, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go." And your heart's breaking. How can you be rooting for that? That's horrible.
see, I dug it just because you know what's coming next. It's like,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
well, um, you know, obviously they're leading towards something. I did enjoy the couple months where most of my friends were just being like, what, so what, it just ends like this? Like it's
Uh,
just What do you mean? Like, and I just went. I was like, yeah, Spider-Man's dead, guys. Like, he's dead. He's not coming back. Like, don't fucking worry about it. He's dead forever. You're never gonna see Peter Parker again. And that
And
was that was fun for a minute.
that is funny that I mean, very few people actually read the comic books that go see these movies.
No,
You,
absolutely.
you kind of have to remind yourself that, wait a minute, they don't know that literally these comic book characters come and go in the pages all the time. Not that big of a deal. So when they see it on the screen, they're like, oh my God, this is it. It's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, you don't read the book. Yeah, okay, cool.
I have forgotten more people that have died and come back in the span of my comic reading career than like I can, like, yeah, than I can even name. Like,
Mhm.
Batman's died, Superman's died like fucking twice. No, he lost his powers twice. Um, fuck. Uh, Booster Gold, or not Booster Gold? Yeah, Booster Gold died in New 52 or in 52, but then came back immediately. And Blue Beetle died, and he's back. And
Wolverine.
Wolverine was dead. Now he's back.
Yeah.
Cyclops is dead, and now he's coming back. Um, there's a lot. Like, it happens all the time, but it is interesting because yeah, I did have friends that were like, "So what the fuck? Like, what's gonna? Where did Doctor Strange transport them all?" I'm like, "Dude, Doctor Strange didn't do shit. He died with everybody else."
Yeah. And that's the one thing in that movie, just hold on to. I saw 14 million or whatever ways. Well, how many did we win? One. It's
Yeah,
like Doctor Strange, he knew how to do it and he knew how it had to go.
he knew he'd have to cease to exist in order to get everything working again, which is
He knew
kind
he had to let Star-Lord be an asshole and screw things up.
of. He's like, "Well, you just gotta punch him in the face when we're about to, save everything."
Exactly.
Well, what about? Do you have any favorite animated movies this year? Did you see any animated
You know
movies?
what? I the one I can remember off the top of my head was Incredibles 2.
And that
Um,
borders into superhero as well. I enjoyed that as
yeah,
well.
I did too. I thought the original though was so much better. But it was still entertaining. But I really can't because I didn't see Spider-Verse yet. I really want to. I just haven't gotten a chance.
Spider Verse is very good.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I don't mean to because it's not like I went and saw something else and skipped over that. But DC to me is the one that makes the awesome animated movies. So I'm just having a hard time rationalizing. Wait, why isn't this just a direct-to-video release? But I've heard so many awesome things, so I'm definitely going to go see it. It's just one of those weird historical things where it's like, no, Marvel doesn't make good cartoons.
Well, this is Sony because
Right.
it's
All
Spider
right.
Man, which I was a little apprehensive about, but like I said, this was a very good movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I guess it did come out this year. It was direct to video, but DC did Death of Superman, and that was fucking really cool.
I didn't see that one.
Um, that was a lot of
Did it
fun.
follow the storyline?
I like their what's up?
Did it follow the comic book storyline?
Kind of. For the most part, like they have it all now. Like all their movies are in one kind of universe together,
Hmm.
and this one's like a continuation from Doom and all that other stuff, which is cool. And then Reign of the Supermen, I believe, comes out end of January, which is the next one, which I'm super excited for. But that was good. What other animated movies came out this year? Hey guys, by the way, we also didn't do or see a lot, so this is going to be a fun one, just so everyone's aware.
Yeah, that's where we need to get Chase on here and be like, dude, just talk.
Chase, just tell us all of your things because you're the guy who sees everything, and we have not. Um,
I will
horror.
say there was a movie I saw rather recently. I saw it with James, and he's the one who actually pushed me to see it. And I wasn't sure I wanted to see it. I love the music, but I didn't know how like good the movie would be. But I saw Bohemian Rhapsody,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed the movie. It was definitely fluff, meaning they didn't get into a lot of the hardcore things that happened to Queen. But for just a fun movie to go see, it was entertaining all the way through, and the music obviously was awesome. The one really hardcore thing that I was not happy with, they didn't address um, Flash Gordon at all. Didn't have any music. Did anything. I was like, what? Come on! How could you not do that? But the movie, I really enjoyed it.
Um, sorry about that. I enjoyed I enjoyed the acting. I thought was it Rami?
Rami
Ram-
Malek.
Yeah, Rami Malek just killed it as Freddie Mercury. He
Oh,
did
dude,
an
for sure.
outstanding job. The fluff is the stuff I didn't like. It's just because like it felt staged and it felt
Yeah.
like I also know a lot of stuff was changed, which kind of bothers me because I'm like, dude, I bet Freddie Mercury lived a hella interesting life. Why do we have to fluff things up or change it? Like,
Yeah. Oh,
I
they
bet,
changed a lot. Like Freddie wasn't the first one to go solo.
yeah, Freddie
That
wasn't the
one made
first
me
to go
mad. I'm like, well,
solo.
that's
And
drama.
they made that like a very like a hard point that ruined the band, and it's like
Yeah.
that's not what happened. And he also was unaware he had AIDS when they did Live Aid. Like there
Yeah.
were a few things like that that bothered me, but um, there was also one montage that bothered the shit out of me, is when it just shows him on stage
Yeah.
at like different moments, and then like a city name coming up. I was just like, that was
You're such a
lazy.
dick. You're such a dick. You're just saying that, but Cleveland was the first city they showed.
Well, I was like, who the fuck goes to Cleveland?
I
Come
knew
on,
you were going to say
come
that.
on.
You're such a jerk.
um I was unaware of the story with that too though. Brian Singer getting fired.
I learned that afterwards. I didn't because I saw his name and I'm like, oh, I didn't know he directed it. So I looked it up and I'm like, oh, I didn't know he got fired.
It made a lot of sense though to me when I saw that he got fired, because a lot of it felt like it was like, shit, we have to just kind of
Yeah. It's
Frankenstein this together.
honestly the only part of the story I knew of the making of was Sasha Baron Cohen was supposed to be
Originally, yeah.
Freddie Mercury, and there was a creative difference how because he wanted to tell like the hardcore story, and obviously the members of Queen were like, no, 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 we're in charge, we own the rights, we're going to tell more of a fluffy version,
Which
and that's the only drama I knew. I had no idea about the Bryan Singer getting fired.
which was, I don't know, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't a harder version of it. But like I said, the acting was incredible. He was 100% Freddie Mercury to me.
Oh, it was crazy how. I mean, I know he wasn't doing the singing solo. They actually mixed several voices together, including Freddie's. But his mannerisms, the teeth,
Oh,
unbelievable.
it was absolutely incredible. Like
Yeah,
that was, yeah, he was Freddie Mercury.
completely agree. I'd also like to give a shout out to a movie that I think got screwed because Disney are a bunch of morons. But Solo, I thoroughly enjoyed Solo. I watched it again this past week. It's still good, and I think if Disney just held off to December and owned December every year, people would have gone to see Solo and been much happier. But because they made it 6 months after the last Star Wars movie, people didn't want it. But Solo is just a fun movie.
I actually did not see Solo, and I'm ashamed to say that. I'm sorry. Sorry
It's
to
even
let you
got
down.
Donald Glover, man. How could you do
I
that?
know, man. I just it I missed a lot. I missed a lot this year, but I didn't see that or Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Did you just say that? I think something's wrong with the speaker, dude.
You didn't see? You weren't excited for Mamma Mia?
No.
No, I don't. No one was. That was a joke.
Okay. I thought you were being real on me.
No, fuck no. I fucking.
I know you got a significant other in your life, but man, come on, dude. Not you don't go that route
I
yet.
don't think she ever even brought up wanting to see Mamma Mia. Maybe she did, but I was just like, I'm glad we didn't go see that.
There were a couple
Um,
others like Mission Impossible Fallout.
I
I don't
actually
know
enjoyed
how
that.
it's like the series is getting better the older it gets. I really enjoyed this one. I thought Henry Cavill was great, and the way they tied into a lot of the characters from previous movies, specifically his I'll
Love
say
interest.
former wife, not ex-wife,
Yeah,
former wife, because they had to separate for obvious reasons. But the way they incorporate her in the movie, I thought was fantastic.
yeah. She
And
wasn't a
then,
Scientologist, so Tom Cruise had to divorce her in the movie, and
and then the
but he
woman
still
from
saves her anyways.
well, he has to, dude, because he is Scientology.
And he's like, Scientology
But then
is.
I don't remember the woman from the last movie, but she was in it too. The MI6 chick. Um, I really thought it was a great story. Really enjoy the action. A Quiet Place was another one. John Krasinski, man, that dude, he will always been Jim Halbert from The Office to me. But after watching him in A Quiet Place that he wrote and directed, and then his thing on Amazon Prime, the Tom Clancy thing, it's like this dude is wicked talented. Oh my god, just amazing.
I always have really liked him, and I'm glad to see him kind of like get out into these kind of bigger roles and move past Jim. You know,
Yeah.
like I think he and Rainn Wilson too, like they deserve more than just to be Dwight and Jim. You know, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with those roles; they're fucking amazing and they were great, and love The Office. But I'm glad to see kind of both of them doing things that are like okay, like you know.
Completely agree.
Well,
Completely agree.
speaking of A Quiet Place, I guess we move into horror. Was that your favorite horror movie?
Um, I can tell you what wasn't my favorite horror movie, but yes,
Don't you fucking start.
A Quiet Place was probably. I'll tell you what, Brandon. It was weird going to see that movie because usually in a movie theater you're supposed to be quiet, but there's still like noises, whether it's idiots actually talking or just rustling or whatever. But when I saw that, everybody in the theater was dead silent, and that's the point of the movie. If you haven't seen it, is if you make any noise, the monsters will get you.
Oh, it's just building the anxiety while you're watching it. Like it's
And
like holy shit.
exactly, and it was just amazing to be in a theater that was so dead silent that like everybody was then a part of the movie, and it was crazy. But it was so well told. There were a couple things that were goofy where you're like, really, but for the most part, it was like, wow, that was a really really good movie, especially for a low budget movie. Yeah, I'd say that was probably my favorite horror movie.
I think Chase said that when he went and saw it, there was somebody that like crunched something like at one point, and somebody gasped. Like it was
Oh god,
like
that's funny.
that's how intense it got in that movie.
I can see that. I can see that being the case because it was definitely tense.
Mine
I hate to
now.
ask you. I hate to ask you
Now
what.
listen, I loved Halloween. I know you hated it for some weird reason, but I loved Halloween. I thought it was fucking amazing. But I have to say, like, I enjoy slasher films to the point where it's like I don't go home and I'm like, oh shit, is someone in my closet, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not
Yeah.
worried about that. The horror movie that shook me a little bit was Hereditary.
You know what? I missed because I was going through what Chase broke down this year, and I missed that one. I have still not seen it.
Okay, the thing that I enjoyed about it is that the trailer doesn't tell you much. It's just terrifying. You're not really sure what's going on or what the reason behind stuff is. And I think that's why I enjoyed this is because there's a lot of shit you just don't see coming. Um it's like it's some of it's jarring. Like there's something that happens kind of early on and I was like, fuck. Like I was in my room by myself and I just went, holy shit. Like audibly with no one around because I'm just like I cannot believe that just fucking happened. Like that was absolutely insane, and it just kind of escalates, and I really enjoyed that.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, I mean Halloween I enjoy because I love slasher films and Michael Myers is my favorite, but yeah, Hereditary is probably my favorite horror movie of the year.
I think my problem with Halloween is one expectation, but two, it just there was one scene in particular, and I really don't want to ruin it for people, but it just seems so out of character for what they built up, and it was specifically the doctor character.
Okay,
And
I
I just couldn't get over it.
I thought it was weird. But I'm glad they rectified it immediately. Like it was fixed.
Okay,
Like to me, it was like,
I
oh,
mean the
because
movie
I thought
ended.
I thought that's where like things were going to change, and I was like, that really sucks. Like I hope that this is not the ending to that movie. And like that's a swerve, but it was kind of just like everything he thought he knew about Michael was wrong. He's like, I figured it out, and he's like, nah, bitch, like you're wrong, and then just murders him, which I thought was kind of cool.
I think that was one of my main problems is that they made it a point that he was Dr. Loomis's like accolade,
Air,
and he was
yeah.
like, yeah, he would know everything, and it just there is no way Loomis would have done anything
Oh
like
no,
that.
no, no. But I think that was the thing is he did it almost of like, look, he's training you, but now he thinks he's smarter than Loomis. Like, no, Loomis would have fucking shot him in the head immediately, and the movie would have been over. Like,
Yeah,
Loomis wouldn't have played any of those fucking games. Like, it just wouldn't have happened.
and because I thought it was cool the way they started with those podcasters or whatever they were going to the asylum.
Yeah,
And I thought it was awesome that the original actor, Nick Castle, we didn't see his face, you just see him from behind, but that he was the dude that was standing there. I thought that was genius.
yeah.
And they had me all the way up until the gas station. And then basically after the gas station, it was just like,
I
uh,
did enjoy the gas station scene.
yeah, I mean, it was haunting up to
Yeah,
that point. And then it just, to me, it just got, nah, I don't think this is, and that's where I also have a problem because I went back and watched them all again just to make sure I wasn't crazy. And as you saw when I first left, I said this is the worst one. And then after rewatching them all, I realized, well, it's not the worst one because there are many others that are worse. So it's sort of a middle of the pack. But I
yeah,
realized one of my big problems with the movie didn't exist in that in the original sequel, they established that Laurie Strode was Michael Myers' sister. And then in every single sequel after that, that is the case.
yeah.
And I think that is so powerful and so huge to the story that when it doesn't exist in this version, I was upset. And I think that was a huge part of me judging it.
So I agree with you with that because, and yeah, that's something I didn't realize because those movies were obviously already out by the time I was watching them.
Yeah.
So it's just something It's like, oh, Laurie Strode is Michael Myers' sister, and you just like assume that's it. But literally right before it started, Chase was like, no, 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 like they never established that in the first movie. This takes place with the second movie never happening, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit. So it made it a little creepier for me because it's like, okay, it makes sense because this is her brother, it's his sister. That's why he's finding her. But when you take that element out, it's like this dude targeted these teenagers and fucking murdered them for no reason. Like there's no when you have the sister, it's like, okay, well, because they're related and he's trying to complete whatever the fuck he was trying to do or whatever. But like the fact that they're not related to me makes it terrifying because it's like, well, why did he choose them? Because you rewatch that first movie and he's following them in the car and he's standing outside the school. There are hundreds of other people around, but he focuses on her and her friends. And
That
to
was that
me,
was part of my problem with why after 40 years he still went after her because literally she became the target because she dropped the key off at his house because her dad was trying to sell the house. And I'm like, that is not a strong enough motivation for me for him after 40 years to want to focus on finding her. And that's totally my opinion, but I'm like, that's weak. I didn't like that.
uh, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was well, they kind of focus on him with that, like they say like, oh, they know exactly where he's going. He's going to finish what he started or whatever. But I mean, I get your viewpoint from it, but
Now that being said, I have not seen it since the theater, and at some point I'll watch it again, and I'm sure I'll be easier on it because the expectations are gone. But just the first day out watching it, it did not help that I was with Kelly, and Kelly and I agreed that that was crap. So we were, playing off each other in our unhappiness.
yeah.
But watching it again, I'm sure I'll think more highly of it.
Well, we will have to do a follow up with that one.
Now, changing it completely, this is weird because it's not like a ton of Christmas movies come out. But I will say, did you have any new Christmas movies you saw this year?
New Christmas movies. What came out?
because there was one in particular where I was like, okay, I'll watch this because of the star.
The
And then I
Grinch?
watched, I'm like, this was amazing.
Well, what are you talking about?
The Christmas Chronicles starring
Okay.
Kurt Russell.
Okay, yes. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
I was shocked at how much I liked that.
Dude, you and me both. I thought it was going to be a throwaway movie, and I was like, well, I get to see Kurt Russell be badass Santa. I was hoping it was going to be like Escape from New York, but with Santa.
Yeah,
But yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of that movie. It was good.
it was shockingly good. I really thought it was just going to be a kids' movie, and Kurt Russell was Santa. It was so entertaining, and I think I can give this away because it's not like people are going to watch it now that Christmas is over. But to
Unless
have
you're a psychopath.
his real life partner, they're not actually married, but
That was the
theoretically
best part of the movie.
being Mrs. Claus, how cute was that?
That was the best part of the movie.
So good.
That was like such a nice little like, and it was at the end too. I was like, oh god damn it! Like that was really cool. Yeah.
And then just as another family tie, did you know that the father slash husband that they showed in the beginning,
Uh huh.
that's Oliver Hudson.
Really?
That's Kurt Russell's stepson, Goldie Hawn's son.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, that was kind of cool.
So it was definitely a cool family ties there thing going on. I thought that was awesome.
That's I did not know that. Yeah, but the ending with Mrs. Claus, I thought that was fucking dope.
Yeah. It's one of those weird ones where it's going along, and the quote unquote twist where you realize Santa set this up the whole time because this one kid in this one family did not believe. Whereas the rest of the family, they were true believers. So he set it up for all these things to happen so that he could write his name in the book as a believer, so that he would help Santa save the day, even
Yeah.
though in reality, Santa was never in danger. He was like, oh man,
No, that was like a very good just it was a feel good Christmas movie, and you get to see the most badass Santa that's ever existed.
for sure. For
Like
sure.
the fact that Kurt Russell, if it was a hug fest, I mean, you know, he doesn't like actually fight anybody or anything, but it's like it's Kurt Russell. He's the most badass Santa that ever existed. I don't give a shit. Any other Christmas movie, no Santa is as cool as Kurt Russell Santa.
Well, he's in jail, and
And he's fucking singing and shit. That was hilarious.
that was
Gives
awesome.
everybody their instruments. Like that was
Yeah.
dope.
There's like prostitutes in there with him. He's like, come on, girls, dance. It's like only Santa.
Only Kurt Russell as
Awesome.
Santa.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I totally forgot about that movie till you mentioned it though. So, what else? I was gonna say video games. I only played one. I literally just finished it like an hour before we started recording this.
What's that?
Spider-Man.
Oh, nice. I've heard a lot of great things about it.
Dude, that ending is a tear jerking
Oh,
son of a bitch. It's so good. I really slacked off on video games this year though. That's the only new one I played. I did not have time for a lot of video games, but
I would say the only new one I played, and I think we talked about it last time, I was revisiting Battlefront Star Wars. That's how lame I am. But the only new one I played was Breath of the Wild, Zelda.
and
And
I don't have a what is it, Switch?
yeah, it's a Switch.
Yeah, I don't have a Switch, so I'm fucked on that one.
It was, and I understand the only reason we got it because we have kids, and
No, I want one. I just fucking haven't been able to get one.
it honestly is a weird thing to say because I'm not a huge gamer, but if just getting Switch for Zelda, if that's the only thing you ever played on it, it's worth it. So awesome. We have Mario Galaxy, which got highly rated. We have Smash Brothers. These are all games James wants and has. I didn't really dig any of them. James loves them, but they're like, all right, whatever. But Zelda, so good. So good. I highly recommend it.
Cubby said that was a very, very, very good game.
Well, that's how good it was. He came out of retirement and reviewed it for us.
Oh yeah, he did review it.
Yeah.
There's a couple others I have to play, but like I said, Spider-Man was the only one I had got around to. Literally end of the year. Literally beat it 3 days into 2019.
Nice.
But we'll see. Maybe I'll try to get through some more this year. But yeah, that was kind of it. What else do we want to talk about? Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'll tell you what. It wasn't a new TV show this year, but there was a new season of it. But I only saw it this year for the first time. It was recommended to me. It's called The Last Kingdom, and basically, it was recommended because I couldn't find a way to find the show Vikings, the unedited European version. So I watched The Last Kingdom, and it's about Vikings.
There's an unedited European version of Vikings.
Exactly. I did not know that. Somebody told me that, and I'm like, oh my god. So there's like more nudity, more gore. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Well, god
Yes.
damn it! Because I've been watching it on Hulu and I'm digging it, but I want to see more gore.
Yes. Exactly. So here's exactly. Go watch The Last Kingdom. It's on Netflix. I
Oh,
can't
is that the
remember
one
what.
with Chris Pine?
No. That's the Outlaw King. That was okay,
Oh fuck,
but
I didn't watch that
yeah,
either. I have Netflix. I didn't even fucking watch most of that shit.
that one's okay. It's not great, but I think it's historically accurate versus like Braveheart, which wasn't. Um, but The Last Kingdom is about
No.
a. It is historically accurate to some extent. It's about an Englishman boy who his father's killed and essentially is raised by the Danish Vikings, and he starts out as a slave, but then the family loves him so much they basically make him a son. But then his Danish family's killed, so he's really a lost kid, meaning in his teens or 20s. He's lost in that he's stuck between two worlds, and that he is Saxon English, and he's also a Dane, and he's got to find his way, as well as his dad was a lord, and he wants to try and get his kingdom back from his uncle who refused to accept him as the heir. And there's 3 seasons, and his name is Uhtred. And it's like, man, these stories are amazing. I couldn't fathom how they would get better each season, and they do. I highly recommend The Last Kingdom. So good.
Okay, I will check that shit out.
And because I think Netflix has now taken over production, so I believe there is going to be a 4th season as well.
Dope. My favorite TV shows were all Netflix this year.
Yeah, they're coming strong, man.
I love. Do you watch F is for Family?
Yes, I
Jesus
love Bill Burr.
Christ, that fucking show is so fucking funny to me. Like when he goes off on those tangents,
Oh yeah,
sometimes it is just like it's gold. It's fucking gold. Like all I can say about that. Big Mouth, I really enjoy.
going back to hold a minute. F is for Family. I think I told you this. I think we talked about this once. It was the first season when he goes to a. I think it's an Eagles game. I think they're in Philadelphia, and he goes as a kid into the bathroom,
Yeah.
and there's the trough urinal,
Oh yeah.
and they show it, and there's like a flashback. I literally was
Oh,
like haunted with images of that when I was a kid, going to Municipal Stadium in Cleveland and be like, "Oh my god, I never thought I'd have to imagine that again. Screw you, Bill Burr. I can't believe you made me see this." Oh,
I had one experience with the trough bathroom, and I was like, nope, I'm fucking good. Like
it's the
no,
worst.
yeah, I'm just like no, nope.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys, not into the trough bathrooms.
yes,
Not into most public restrooms.
no,
That is like the worst case scenario public restroom. So
big time. And then it's funny because you always have like at a ball game, like drunk guys who just don't care,
that's what I
and they're
mean. I'm
fine
just
with
like
it.
I don't like people talk like I don't do public. I don't do well with public restrooms, like any
No,
of them. And
no,
ball games are the worst because it's like I already am uncomfortable walking into a public restroom,
yeah.
and then everybody wants to talk to you, and I'm like, please don't talk to
My
me.
favorite is when you have the guys with like the beer, open beer, and they come
Oh God, like
in
what are you
town,
doing? No, fuck
hugging
no,
the
fuck.
wall. It's like you are disgusting.
Yeah, I can't. Anyways, well, we'll get off of that because I'm fucking
Good
not
call.
about that.
Anyway,
Um,
Big Mouth.
um, Big Mouth is very good. Season 2 came out this year, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but
I watched the first season.
yeah,
It's hilarious.
season 2 is just as funny.
And if you're a dude, it's like that's exactly what dudes think about. I'm not even playing. I'm not downplaying it. That's how it goes.
It's just very well done. Like it's
Yeah.
um just everything about it, like being that age. Now you know that a little older, you can kind of relate to like the adults as well. Like it's just good all around. I really really enjoyed season 2 of that. Did you watch The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
I was shocked at how good that was.
Fucking blown away. Had no idea it was going to be that good, and not even terrifying, but like a good story.
Yeah, we almost didn't watch it because Allison hates horror movies, and we started the first episode, and it's creepy, definitely creepy. And my sister had seen it. She's like, "No, no, no, you got to get through it. It's
Yeah.
not really horror, but it does
It's
have those
it
elements."
Now, did were you aware, if you go back and rewatch it, there are ghosts in almost every scene of that show?
And that's what Allison pointed out. She's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "See what?" And we pause it and look. I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah." There's like a
Yeah.
face in the background.
There's faces, there's
Yeah,
hands, it is fucking, and that made it, like, more chilling to me, is because
yeah.
it's like, holy, and when we there's so many parts of that show. I have to say, the origin of the bent neck lady was the
Oh,
most tragic thing I've ever fucking, like, I took a break because I was like, "I can't fucking go on with this right now." Like, that
and then
was
her storyline
so.
wasn't done. She kept
No.
coming. You're like, "Oh, come on,
Yeah.
don't remind
Fucking
me."
yeah, it was so fucking. Oh, you and that's the shitty thing, is the next episode, it literally starts with her seeing the bent neck lady as a kid, and I was like, "No, god damn it!" Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
and all those things started coming together at the very end with the mom in the room. I don't remember any of the characters' names, but the mom in the room that sort of set everything off with the caretaker's daughter, who she thought was imaginary. And it's
Oh,
like, oh my god, more heartbreak.
yeah.
Cripes.
Oh, that was fucking that was terrifying. That was just heartbreaking. The fucking When the dad is finally like, "Do you remember the clock repairman?" I was like,
Yes.
"No, no,
Yeah.
ah, fuck."
Yeah. You didn't need a clock. It's like, oh my god.
Ah,
Yeah. And
um, did
And
you
the whole
know
reason
that?
why they wouldn't burn it down, because that was our question from the beginning. Why wouldn't you just burn this house down?
Yeah, just
Because
fucking
it's so
burn it to the
stupid.
ground.
Burn it down. And then the caretakers, and it's like, you can't, because this is the only place she'll live. And you're like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah.
God
You can't
damn,
burn it
the
down.
worst.
Yeah.
Um, were you one of the ghosts in one of the scenes? The wife, what's her name, Carla?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Um, so she was in Gerald's game with Bruce Greenwood.
Okay.
So he actually as a cameo as a ghost behind her in one of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
That's another dude that pops up in so many things. I'm like, oh my God. I didn't realize he's been around that long and that he's been just popping up here and there.
And he's dope. He's such
Yeah.
a good actor.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, but yeah, that was fucking a series I did not think. I don't know. I just didn't know what to expect, and I was very blown away by it.
It was one of those ones where I did not watch it when it first came out. Everybody was telling me how awesome it was. I'm like, whatever. All right, fine. I'll watch it. I'll prove you wrong because now you got my expectations up. And watched it. I was like, holy shit, everybody was right.
Yeah,
This was amazing.
so good.
Yeah.
And of course, Daredevil.
I have no idea what is wrong with Netflix and how you can cancel a show that is so goddamn good.
Well, they canceled fucking. Sorry about that. They're just canceling all of it, and it sucks because I don't know if Marvel and Disney plan on bringing them back with the same actors or continuing from there. But it's like, you gave us such a good Bullseye,
Yep.
such a good Daredevil, such a good Kingpin. Like, all of it just fucking came together in this beautiful finale,
Yep.
and now we get nothing.
Yeah, and I had not thought about this because we talked about this last time. I had not thought about this, but I guess there's contracts between Netflix and Marvel. I'm sorry, Disney, that basically Netflix has the rights to make more TV shows. So if they don't make them, it doesn't happen.
I think it was a I read something that they have like a 3-year cannot appear clause.
That sucks.
Yeah. Um, like, if you can use the same actors, I'm willing to wait. And what's super depressing about that is Punisher just got announced for like 2 weeks away, and
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. John Barenthal is such a good Punisher, and you know it's getting canceled right after this. You know it is. Like,
It has to be.
it's just, yeah, and that's all we're gonna get is John Barenthal Punisher, and that is so disappointing.
Yep. And we got to wait 3 years. Because even if they want to remake it, they just can't until 3 years is up
God, that's fucking
or
annoying.
whatever their deal is. So yeah, but no, it was so good. I wasn't sure exactly which story they were going to tell, and they didn't follow like they didn't follow one comic book story, which was cool because the tease at the end of I think it was the end of Defenders. It was like, okay, are they going to do it? Are they going to tell what the fuck's the story? Where Kingpin basically disgraces him and shows his identity.
Oh, the whole Bendis run with it,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like the way they did that, where he's like, "All right, cool, like you can tell everybody, but guess what? I fucking got you figured out, fat man."
yeah, it was so good, and it was awesome because if I remember correctly, they never quite got to the point of saying the nun was his mom in the comics. And maybe I'm misremembering that, but I thought they alluded to it, but they never actually said it. So for them to take that one extra step and actually say it, I was like, "Oh, dude, that's powerful. That's awesome."
Oh
I
yeah,
really dug that.
no, that was fucking great. Like, I don't know, it was so shitty because it wasn't until Daredevil that you're like, "Oh fuck, these things are getting canceled because of this."
Yeah. Yep. And I'm this is like the first time I'm angry with Netflix because they're coming out saying, "Well, it just didn't perform that well." And
And
it's
it's
like,
like,
I don't believe you because
I would
that's
believe Luke
bullshit.
Cage and Iron Fist,
Yeah.
but I'm thinking that Daredevil did pretty well. I can't see Punisher doing bad.
No.
I mean,
And
maybe
you know
Jessica
what? I
Jones.
will be slightly okay if I'm sorry, if Punisher is amazing and then they make more Punisher. I will feel better because maybe the issue is Daredevil's too expensive. Um, Vincent D'Onofrio, it's not like he's cheap. Um, okay, maybe that's why. But if Punisher's amazing and then they cancel Punisher, it's like fuck you, Netflix. You guys suck.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's all this fucking right stuff just fucks up everything. Like,
Yeah,
this is why Venom got made, is because you just can't let Marvel do what needs to be done.
and that's what makes me so mad is we thought Marvel had done it. They'd gotten everything back with like Sony allowing them to make Spider-Man and then them buying out Fox. It's like, yes. And then this shit starts happening and you're like, no, damn it. I thought we were good. Yeah,
Yeah,
anyway.
dropped the ball on that one.
There was another Netflix one that surprised me. I'm not a huge Adam Sandler fan anymore. I think a lot of his movies of late are just like, wow, dude, seriously? And when he made the deal with Netflix, I really thought even more. I'm like, Jesus, you're just making movies with your friends, which is cool, but I don't want to see it. But I watched his Adam Sandler 100% Fresh, and it basically is its stand up, and it's a collection of a bunch of his stand up rolled into one movie. Did you see this?
I did not watch it.
It was good, meaning I would say it was pretty good, but then they have one like 10-minute segment that hit just comes out and he's playing the guitar. You're like, okay, cool, cool. What's he doing? And it's somber, and you're like, what's going on?
Yeah, like,
And then he starts singing, and I'm sure people have seen the clips now. And it's a nice ode to Chris Farley,
oh
and it's
man,
so damn touching from the heart, and that right there made the whole thing worth watching.
oh man,
So good,
that's
yeah.
okay. Well, guess I'll have to watch that one.
Now, in fairness, if you only want to watch the clip, I have seen the clip running around on Facebook where you just watch that one segment.
I probably, yeah. Well, I've been, like I said, I need to have some time here to watch more shit. So I'll just add that to the list. We'll be talking at the end of 2019, and I'll be like, you know what? I still didn't get to.
Yeah, it's rough out there, man.
Yeah. Is that all the categories? Did we cover everything?
I think yeah, I would think. Well, we didn't talk about actual comic books, did we?
We didn't. What was your favorite comic book of the year?
I'll tell you what, I have high standards, these aren't necessarily ones that came out this year. This is what I read this year, and I really enjoyed them. We kind of talked about this before. I'll roll on to one: Star Wars, Doctor Aphra, Darth Vader. They're all really good, and I
That Darth
really
Vader
dug them.
book was so fucking good. Like,
Yeah, and
I
it's funny because usually I don't want to give it away, but I think it's been on the internet enough that they gave the origin of Darth Vader's father, so to speak. And usually when you say things like that, I'm like, oh, don't tell me. But the way they did it, the way they incorporated what was already told in Revenge of the Sith, it's like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's awesome.
yeah. No, I really enjoyed that. Like, I really really enjoyed that Darth Vader book. Way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree.
What else came out this year? Digging Avengers and Justice League. Jason Aaron doing Avengers. Scott Snyder doing Justice League. Both fucking really good. Back where the team should be. You know, like big stories, big writers. It's they're both going really well. Both writers have long term plans with it too, so it's not going to be like 12 issues.
That's nice.
Yeah, both of those I suggest checking out. Jason Aaron's Thor run has just fucking been amazing. Uh, it's building up to War of the Realms here in April, which I'm
That's cool.
super excited for. Um, what else?
I've been digging the Flash. I'm not a. It's weird. I think for DC, it really just comes down to Batman for me. But this year, I ended up bleeding into a lot last year. Some reason jumped on Superman and Action Comics and The Flash, and they've been really good.
Yeah, Flash is actually I will agree with you. Since Rebirth kind of started and everything got kind of put back to where we wanted it.
Mhm.
I've really enjoyed Flash. I think Flash has been a solid book.
And it's sad. I'm trying to. I can't even remember what's going on in Batman to say whether it was good or not. So I guess it's not terribly good.
Batman it basically led up to the wedding, and now it's just been like the destruction of Batman, kind of like he's just
Yeah.
losing shit left and right, and I think it's been really well done. Like I've really enjoyed Tom King's run on it so far, and I know he's building up to some more shit. Issue 100, I think, like a little past that is going to be his like finale. But I've fucking really enjoyed his run so far.
That's cool.
The last, well, 2 issues ago, the next issue comes out next week, but something in the last page of one of those, I was like, oh shit, like this is moving pretty good. I'm excited to see what they have planned.
I'll have to catch up because I've found as I get older, because I'm clearly doing that, that I like to go like 5 issues behind and then binge. So I'll rotate.
Yeah,
So I just finished catching up on Star Wars, Darth Vader, Doctor Aphra, and now I got to make my way back to Flash, Superman, Action Comics, and Batman. So I'm about 5 to 10 issues behind
you
on
got
that.
some good books coming up in your future, sir.
Cool, because I read up to the wedding with Batman, and I was like, really, all that for this? Okay,
He got death threats because of that issue.
I I can see why, just because it wasn't awesome. It was just like, okay,
No,
whatever.
he got death.
And I'm
They
not
were like, "How
advocating
dare
death
you?" They were
threats.
like, "How dare you lead us on with that shit?" And it's like, it's a fucking comic book. Like,
Well, I'm so
Jesus.
disappointed in the way the world's going.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of Star Wars groups, and I hated The Last Jedi. I thought it was an awful movie. But the venom people are spewing and like targeting actors and actresses specifically, it's like,
Oh, it's disgusting.
what the
Like,
hell's wrong with you? You didn't like it? Fine. Just say you
yeah.
didn't like it.
Like,
Why
I
are
don't.
you being mean?
I haven't fucking liked most of the DC movies, but I don't fucking go after Zack Snyder, whoever the fuck was in charge of all of those. Like it's a bad movie. Don't fucking watch it if you don't like it.
Exactly. That's how you show your dislike. Don't give
Yeah.
it your money.
No,
Yeah,
the way people are acting is absolutely disgusting. I completely agree with you. Like that,
it really is. It really is.
disappointing. It's all of that shit. But yeah, let's try to be nicer in 2019, guys. How about that?
I
How
don't want to
about
get political, but at least today, which is Thursday, the 3rd, if I got my math right,
yes?
we have now a checks and balances within our government. So hopefully we will have a lot less bad news coming forward.
I'm fucking hoping so. That would be. I don't know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I've learned my lesson these last couple of years, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. We'll remain hopeful, but not. Um, I don't know. What am I looking to say? Remain hopeful, but I'm not going to let my guard down.
Well, how about we do that then? As we come into 219, what are you looking forward to here?
Oh man, Endgame,
Yeah.
fucking Captain Marvel, It 2, Us. Did you see the Us trailer for fucking?
I don't know what I saw. Like I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck did
It
I
looks
just watch?
terrifying. Fucking Godzilla, John Wick, Hellboy, so much shit. What about you?
Uh, likewise, Joker, because I'm curious. Spider-Man. I don't want to, but Dark Phoenix because I have to. I'm a completist.
Yeah, I get that.
Obviously, Star Wars. Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4.
The New Mutants, which I thought that was already coming out. To see that it's coming out next year, I'm like, this
I don't
can't
know
be a good
what the
movie.
fuck's going on with all that.
Spawn because I
Because
love the
you're, yeah,
underdog. Three from Hell because The Devil's Rejects was one of my favorite movies of all time.
I'm hesitant about that because
Oh
Devil's
hell yeah,
Rejects is one of my favorite movies of all time. But
hell yeah! You got to be hesitant.
I'm hoping
Rob
for
Zombie's
good
a
shit.
weird dude. Yeah. Kingsman 3.
Men in Black International.
You know what? I didn't quite understand what I was watching in that I didn't know the name of the movie, so I thought they were like rebooting Men in Black, and this was like the international trailer. That's how dumb I am. But then when it clicked, I'm like, oh no, this is broader.
Damn,
Okay,
everywhere.
cool. On board. I like this idea. I
How
dig that.
about?
And supposedly there's a new Terminator movie coming out.
Oh, we'll see about that.
Yeah, I love Terminator. I'm curious what they're doing. Supposedly it's a reboot. We'll
Uh,
see.
Masters of the Universe is supposed to come out in December.
Yeah, that's Rocket Man,
Yeah,
which is Elton John. I'm very curious to see that.
what else? The Zombieland 2.
Yeah, finally. That'd be nice.
Did we say it chapter 2? I think it did.
Yeah, you did.
Once Upon a Time in
Shazam. I don't remember you
Hollywood.
said
Shazam, I'll see it. I mean,
that.
whatever. At this fucking point, who gives a shit? Like, they're gonna keep
Uh,
making them. I guess I'll just fucking sit through it. Uh,
another one that M Night Glass. I don't know if I want to see
oh,
it or not, but I'm
oh,
curious.
yep. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Well, good. We got a lot of good shit coming. Oh, Lego Movie, the second Lego Movie.
Yeah. I'll
That
tell you
was
what. I wouldn't have watched. I would have watched Batman, but I would have watched the Ninjago one, but not for my kids. So now I've seen like all of the theatrically released ones, and they are good. They're
dude,
entertaining.
the Lego Batman movie was so fucking good.
Awesome. When I turned on the Ninjago one and Jackie Chan was in it, I'm like, okay, I'm sold. Let's watch this. So good, so entertaining.
Yeah.
Totally dug it.
So yeah, a lot of good stuff, guys.
Yeah,
I guess I'll sign us off. We good?
yeah.
All right. Well, that's what we're looking forward to. That was our stuff. Let us know what you guys liked in 2018, what you're looking forward to in 2019, and hopefully we'll be back here real soon. We'll talk about more fun stuff. Okay, guys?
Yeah, let us know what we missed in 2018 because, like we said, we didn't go to the theater a lot, and I'm sure there's comic books we missed. So let us know.
Yeah, please. Like, tell me what I need to do. I'm behind on everything to begin with, but let's just add to that list. Keep me busy. So, thank you for listening. Make sure to subscribe, like all that stuff, all the things on all the social medias and the Facebooks and Instagrams and all that fun stuff. And like I said, we'll be back real soon, hopefully. So till next time. everybody have a nerdy week.